Before we start the video, I'd like to shout out logo.com for sponsoring this video. They have an awesome site where you can buy a bunch of in-game currency and items, including all your favorite Rocket League items. Also, make sure you use code Dylbobz to get an easy 6% off your orders. Check out the site, there's a link in the description. But for now, enjoy the video. Yo, what's going on guys, Dylbobz here, and welcome to a brand new video here where we're going to be looking at one card design for every black market in Rocket League. So let's not waste any time and let's get straight to it. I'm going to be showing you them right now. So starting off, we have 20XX. Obviously, 20XX in my opinion is usually seen with very dark colors, such as like a red and black or a purple and black. Well, this time I wanted to make it a nice, bright, happy sort of design because it is summer and I think it looks really, really cool. So what I've got here is some forest green discotheques, which have this green to blue sort of yellow colors on it. So I sort of tried to match that with the colors on the car. We have a sky blue Octane and a sky blue 20XX. And then the colors here are a sort of yellowy color and a sky blue color, and it makes it look quite nice, not gonna lie, it does look quite nice. Alright, so biomass is a black market that's quite cheap. It's only allowed one color with this black, so what better to go with it than Hypnotics, which have a black and then another color, and it looks really, really good. This is an orange version. You can change this to any color you want, but I've used an orange Hypnotic with an orange Octane and an orange primary color with this biomass. Again, as I said, change these to any colors you want. It will always look good with biomass, trust me. Now guys, before we move on to the next one, let me know in the comments what your favorite black market is on Rocket League, and we'll see who's gonna win, which black market is gonna win. Now let's move on to Bubbly. Alright, so Bubbly can be used in a lot of ways in my opinion. I like using Bubbly with like blues and greens and blues and pinks, but this time I've gone with one color. So I've chosen Cobalt Kalos wheels here, which have a dark blue and a light blue, and they sort of, the Kalos wheels bounce around quite a lot. They don't look exactly like Bubbly, but they bounce around similar to the bubbles on Bubbly, and I do kind of like that. So I've gone with the Cobalt Kalos, Cobalt Octane, and then the colors to be matching the wheels. So we've got a primary color as Cobalt, a dark color, that match the outside of the wheel, and then an accent of a nice light blue to match the inside of the wheel, and then you can see a nice bubbly car design. Let me know what you think of that. Alright, now Chameleon, one of my favorite, if not my favorite in this video. This looks amazing. So if you didn't know, if you use Chameleon with really dark colors, you can make this amazing effect. Now I've done a blue and red fade. I don't even know what it reminds me of. It looks kind of like a midnight sky. It looks really, really nice. The titanium white Octane isn't necessary, but it does look better with it, trust me. So if you can afford that or you have one, be happy to make this. But if you can't, you can do it without a painted Octane. It still looks good. And then I use black orbit wheels. However, you can use any black wheels just so that they don't distract you from the car. And if you want to see the colors I used here, you use a very dark blue with a very dark pink, and it looks amazing. I just can't get enough of this decal. Now Dissolver here, I've used, it literally looks like highlighter fluid. It looks awesome. The bright colors really do stand out. Even though they don't match the wheels perfectly, you can't miss using out that pink. So I've used Infinium wheels, lime painted. They have this lime and purple color to them. So I've gone with a lime Octane, and let's be honest, lime is one of the best colors in Rocket League. So we've gone with a lime Octane. And then we have these pink colors. So the primary color is a bright pink. I know it doesn't match the wheel perfectly, but you can't miss out this pink. It looks amazing. And then the accent color is just a yellowy lime color, and it stands out like, I wouldn't say a sore thumb. It stands out like an explosion of paint at a festival or something. I don't know. It looks awesome. Now Fire God, I've gone with a space themed car design using Fire God because Fire God is so bright. So if you use a dark color and a bright color, it just looks like space. And then obviously, what better to go with space than some Celestial 2 wheels, which have stars all around them. So I've gone with Celestial 2 wheels that are painted black, so you don't have any colors blocking the stars. And then obviously, just a dark primary color will do. It can be pretty much any of these. And then you use a white as your accent color. And I used a titanium white Octane here, but that is not necessary, guys. But obviously, if you have it, then go for it. Alright, Glorifier, this car design again I really like, mainly because of the colours. Now, I used Glorifier to start with. I didn't know what wheels to use. I was just messing with colours, and I saw this pink looks really cool on Glorifier. It's a really nice pink, especially when it goes with the blue. And what better wheels than Yankee RL wheels? They're the only wheel really in the game that have that pink colour, because when they're not painted, they look like this. So if you use some regular Yankee RL wheels
with a sky blue octane and these colors right here with glorifier, you'll get a car that looks like this. Now, Heatwave, this car design is just, it looks awesome. I used the Fennec because a white Fennec looks better with this car design. I don't really know how to explain this car design. It just, for some reason, looks really good. All you want to do is use black wheels. I used black OEM wheels, a titanium white Fennec, and then a Heatwave. Now, Heatwave doesn't come painted, so just a regular Heatwave. We use a primary color as orange and an accent as black, and it just looks awesome. I don't know why. Again, as I said, it's just a really cool combination, and let me know what you think of the Heatwave design, because I love it. I got some inspiration online, I saw it, and I had to try and make it because it looks just insane. It just, I don't know, it looks so menacing. I can't explain it. Let's go on to Hextide. That's a little bit nicer, a little bit more plain. So the Hextide car design here, we're bringing back the classics here. ARA 51 wheels, painted lime to go with Hextide, and obviously I wanted to make this a very plain, nice looking car design, so I used a lime painted Hextide to assure that I could make the background plain. Now, what I mean by that is the primary color is a nice, just pastel-y color. The accent color is black, so that the hexagons aren't there to start with. And then when the animation comes through, it lights up the car every now and then, and it's a nice sort of regulating pattern. I just think it looks really cool and simple. So let me know what you think of a nice simple car design. Do you prefer simple, guys, or do you prefer crazy? Because I think I prefer simple, but that's just me. Alright, now Hexed isn't a very nice decal. It used to be worth so much, and then I remember back in the day, as soon as I got a Hexed, it dropped in value by like 50 keys, and it's definitely nothing compared to some of the new black markets. But here is a simple Hex car design. We use lime voltaics, a regular non-painted octane, and then these colors right here, a darkish blue and a lime accent color. That's all I can say about that. It's not my favorite at all. Let's move on to Intrudium. Okay, so Intrudium black market is, you can make a lot of cool car designs just using one color, and that's pretty self-explanatory. So here I decided to just do that. We've got a crimson octane with some crimson meridian wheels. Again, this can be replicated with almost any color. And then for the accent, I just used a nice white. The primary color's a nice red, and there's a dog barking outside. Maybe it likes it, maybe it doesn't. I don't know what dog language means, but hopefully it likes this car design. I think I do. It looks cool. You'll stand out on the field for sure. It's just a very deep red color. It always looks good. Now, Labyrinth was, it's a very cheap black market, and a lot of people don't think you can really make it work, but I sure do, because Labyrinth has potential. It was my first black market I ever got, so it really hits home, I mean, that's probably because it was about 3 keys, and it's all I could afford back then. But what we've done is we've used regular reverb wheels, which have the exact same effect as Labyrinth, so they're perfect for each other. We don't use a painted car, just a regular octane, because it matches the amount of grey that's on the reverb wheels, which is way too much grey, by the way. And then the colour right here, if you're on the orange team and select this murky, dark looking brown, it actually fits really well when you see it on Labyrinth. So there you go, guys. That is my Labyrinth car design, and I actually, not going to lie, I really love it. Now, Magma, it's not a very, in my opinion, it's not the nicest black market at all. It's sort of retro, it's very pixelated, and has a very low frame rate. So I just went with something that reminds me of that, and that is, for example, these equalizer wheels, which, they seem kind of retro, they're pixely, and I think this combination works. I've used crimson equalizers with a crimson octane, and then if you customize car, you can see the paint that we've used here is a red and a blue. Very simple, you can use this with any sort of colors. Equalizers and Magma go well together, that's all I'm saying. Now, mainframe. Reminds me of electricity, reminds me of a circuit board, so I went with an electricity themed car design. We have a saffron octane, the striking yellow. We have saffron mainframe, but you could just use a regular mainframe for sure, and a saffron reactor wheels, which obviously looks like a bundle of energy in those wheels, so it goes well with this. Now, obviously, you guessed it, the primary color is a yellow, and the accent is a black. And overall, a very yellow car design. You don't see yellow car designs every day, and I think this one stands out very, very nicely and fits the theme of the decal perfectly. Parallax, again, is a classic, has always been one of my favorite decals on Rocket League, so I went with a nice light color because I'm not going to lie, blue, for some reason, always looks good with Parallax. It's probably the best color to go with Parallax. So I went with regular discotheque wheels because they have this light blue and this light pink, and then a pink octane, And for the colors, we use a sky blue sort of primary color and a light pastely pink on the accent. And you can see it's a nice decal, a nice car design, and it all fits very, very nicely. Now, slipstream I've used here as a psychedelic sort of pattern with these Irradiator 2 wheels non-painted. Again, this can be replicated with any color you want. You just change the color of the wheels and the octane. So I've used a forest green octane here. With slipstream, I've used a forest green primary color and a black accent color. And as you wiggle the car around, you'll see a very psychedelic sort of pattern, and it goes well with slipstream. So there you have it. Alright, so Spectre is a very odd decal. It doesn't really make much sense. There's some weird stripes. The colors don't really match at all the way you expect them, and there's a weird sort of lava effect in the back. It doesn't really make sense. It's like just a jumble of ideas all went into one, and I wanted to do something that would, you know, seem quite a challenge to me. So I used these SARP BC10 wheels, which as you can see have a blue-orange sort of effect gradient on them. So I tried to see if I could make that with Spectre, and I think I succeeded, so let me know. I've used a regular non-painted octane right here because the wheels are very grey, so that works. And then the colours here are this dull looking blue and this sort of orangey skin tone, and I think it matches quite nicely. Let me know in the comments down below if you think my Spectre decal or Spectre car design looks any good. Stormwatch right here I've used with my favourite wheels in the game, Aeromage non-painted wheels, because they have this blue to yellow, including turquoise sort of combination. It looks amazing. A 3-color combination. I've always talked about this on the channel in terms of car designs. If you can get 3 colors in a car design, it's going to stand out from the rest. And this is exactly what these wheels do. So I thought, why not use one of my favorite black market Stormwatch to do so. We've used a cobalt octane to get the blue there, and then on Stormwatch, that can handle the rest. So we've gone with a primary color of a turquoise and an accent color of a yellow, and it just matches the car and the wheels just really nicely. I really like Stormwatch, and I really like Aeromage wheels, and I think Stormwatch is one of the best decals that can be used to sort of match that. Okay, Streamline isn't really my favorite decal for sure. It does look good. Most people use it with a dark primary color and a really bright accent color, and I wanted it to be a bit different. So I've gone with a cartoony sort of theme. It's a bit mix and match. It doesn't really match perfectly, but I feel like that makes it stand out a little more and seems a little bit more creative than it actually is. So I've used regular chrono wheels because they have these weird, you know, dark reddish orange color, which you don't see every day on Rocket League. I've used an orange octane, which doesn't match too well, but I feel like it works. And then the primary color is a dark orange, and the accent color is a slightly brighter orange, so that, you know, if I make it too bright, look, it glows, and I didn't want that effect. I want it to be very sort of matte, simplistic, and plain, and I think that does work. Let me know what you think. But let's move on to Tidal Stream. Alright, the Tidal Stream black market looks really, you know, bright. It kind of looks metallic. It glows. And the wheels I thought that go with that are Tri-2050 wheels because they're metallic, they glow, they sparkle, and original non-painted Tri-2050 wheels are these purple. So I went with a purple octane, and then the colors I used was a purple, you guessed it, and a blue because that's what goes with the wheels. And I feel like overall this car design glows. It looks very, you know, celestial. It looks very spacey, sort of, kind of, I guess. But yeah, let's move on to Tora. Okay, if I didn't make a Tiger car design with Tora, I failed this video, so obviously I went with a Tiger. I used Septum wheels here because if you look from the front, they do have these sort of stripes that remind me of a Tiger, so I went with orange Septum wheels, an orange octane, and orange wildcat ears on top to make sure it does actually look like a Tiger. If you don't have them, I mean, what are you really doing? And then the primary color is this nice orange, and the accent is the black, obviously. And there you have a Tiger. You guessed it. You probably could have guessed that before even watching this video. So there you have the Tora car design. Now, Trigon is an amazing decal. Back in the day when I made Trigon car designs, this one featured in it, and I had to bring it back. Basically, Trigon decal with Illuminata wheels is a perfect, inseparable pair. I mean, look at these wheels. There's triangles on them. Look at the decal. There's triangles on them. They're literally made for each other. So I used lime Illuminata wheels, a lime octane, because lime is just the best color in the game, so why not use lime? And then the primary color is the dark blue to match the wheels, and then the accent is obviously this really nice bright lime. Let me know what you think of this one. I really do like it. Definitely one of my favorite car designs of all time that I've ever made, and I don't know, it just looks awesome. Reminds me of spring for some reason. I don't know why. Does it remind you guys of spring? Probably not, but yeah. And then we have wet paint. Now, wet paint, you know, it's a very simple decal. I do like it. I feel like some bright colors work with wet paint, so I went with these crimson equalizers once again, similar to the magma car design. The reason I use equalizers, obviously, is because look at the effect on the wet paint. Those sort of streaks coming off. The equalizer decal looks just like it, just vertically, so it goes well. Crimson equalizers are bright. They look really, really nice. So I used crimson equalizers, a sky blue octane, and the colors you can probably guess yourself. It's a red and it's a blue. But there you have, guys, all of my black market car designs, one for each black market. Let me know what your favorite black market is in the comments below. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. It was very fun to come up with some car designs, search the internet for inspiration, and it was, you know, it's a nice video to put together. It's boiling in my room. The windows are closed, so you can't hear too many dogs outside. So I'm going to go and probably have a cold shower now. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.